this. And here comes the moment of truth. It is. It's live now. Look at that. Wow. Okay. So it is live, and I'll go back in here and clean up a little bit of this nonsense. But let's minimize that. So, hey everybody, welcome to Sean's Shop. Sean's Show. Today, I upgraded. I got a couple extra USB 3 ports to my really old desktop. And the kind of beauty of this test was, and then here, wanting to run my DSLR as a webcam. I mean, very simply, that was kind of the plan. I wanted to be able to, excuse me, I just wanted to be able to use my DSLR as webcam. Now, here's the interesting backstory and why this is such an interesting test. I realized that I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to stop monitoring the audio because it's really annoying. It's really obnoxious. So it sounded good. God, I hope it works. I realized that the Canon 600D or the T3i, the Rebel, doesn't put a clean HDMI output. That simply means that you'll see the overlay and all the stuff that you would normally see on the back of the LCD viewfinder. So your Google Search Grid or your histogram or pretty much all the data, right? And I didn't like that. Of course, that doesn't make for a good thing unless you're doing it on purpose. So while I was mucking about with this, it occurred to me that I do have another camera that I know does clean HDMI out, my Sony FS5. Now, this is like way over camming for what, for doing broadcasts, for doing just YouTube broadcast, unless it's what you're going to do. But here's the cool part. If you have one, and I know that in my quest, I've been attempting to figure out how to, get a tablet hooked up to the camera as an external monitor without buying a field monitor because I'm cheap. But I know a lot of people were very interested in streaming directly to YouTube and Facebook and these things, and they had already had a 5. And the problem was a lot of the streaming software that's out there, as far as it just doesn't really, it doesn't work. It doesn't, well, it works, it doesn't look good, especially the wireless streaming stuff. Either it's too expensive to get the really good stuff, or it's absolute junk. It's there's no real middle ground there. Oh, until today. So I put the link to the CamLink. It's the same one that everybody's been raving about. It will connect to a DSLR, and it will allow YouTube broadcast in, I mean, for from what I understand, up to, I know at least full HD. Um, I've heard people have been able to broadcast um, higher than that. I don't know, haven't done it. So there's that. But so this was a very quick, video to test actually whether I could actually do a live broadcast straight from camera into computer and using their software. I'm actually using the game capture software instead of their stream software, where you would connect that through maybe OBS or one of 100,000 other types of video streaming devices and so on and so forth. And I'm sure there's some more ways to do this. This is just kind of a proof concept video to say, hey, yes, you can. And I'm going to kind of pan down here a little bit. So let me just do this. This is a old, see here, get in on this. Alright, so there we go. The Elgato, or whatever the heck you call it, CamLink. And I've just got to I had some some of the older 3.0 ports, and just not really. It was good, but I wanted to have something new, so I just got a new port with some a little bit higher speeds, an older computer, and they're the older 3.0. End of story. So works good so far. Looks good. I did a couple ones that were unlisted just to check, and oh, sorry, clap. So I'm pretty stoked. I have to say, I'm it's I'm gonna go back here. Hang on. Let me turn this down. So this is wonderful. I'm turning down the whole audio, but the um the user face you see here, and let me get this out of the way. This is actually a this is a really, again, everything here is overkill. This is an overkill handheld mic converted from XLR to 3x5 and literally plugged right into the back of my computer. And I'm using the live commentary um, audio and have it set to this. You could probably use, hence probably use pretty much any USB 3x5 microphone would most likely work. Haven't tested it, don't know, just trying. I'm pumping in quite a bit of light. Not that the 5 needs it, but I just wanted to make sure that we got a pretty decent kind of signal, and that even though um, things are less than ideal, but the thing that kept driving me nuts, and just as FYI, right down here, this blue, I don't know if you can see this, got too much stuff in my, the wired, or the commentary button, if you don't click that button, like apparently this is mainly for gaming software where you record a game and then you talk over it while you're doing, and or just trashing your enemies, whatever. But if you don't click on that little commentary button, the live commentary doesn't work. This tripped me up for 45 minutes wondering why I had it working, and then it stopped working when I restarted the program. So I will continue to all this. I'm going to continue to do some testing and see what else, but hopefully this helps some people out there. I'm going to go over from here and set up a broadcast on Facebook. So that's my next test, to see if I can do a broadcast on Facebook, live broadcast on Facebook, and if successful, that would be very cool. So instead of being a several hundred, $500, $600 answer equipment on your camera and equipment, more more hardware, more hardware. $100. I think it's $120, $130 on Amazon. I put the link in there. Doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps us out. Anybody that all the YouTubers, we survived the YouTube apocalypse. I barely survived, and then I ran away and hid under a tree for a while. But with this, this is making me a little more hopeful. So I will most likely be doing some more videos, coming back and doing some more cool stuff. Doing a little work now, just trying to get things organized. Now I didn't plan on doing all this through the 5. I'm overjoyed that I can, but I'm a little, it's a little more camera than you know you need. This is here. I'll show you. Even though I'm using this tiny microphone, this little boom pole. Yeah, the Sennheiser E835 handheld, and it doesn't really it doesn't sit well in this little desktop dealio, and it's really expensive handheld mic, very nice, but very expensive. So I just clip it in with a pony clamp just to make sure that it doesn't it doesn't run away. Anyways, I'm gonna ramble a little bit. Forgive me, but I'm so excited this works. I am I am also just checking the audio every so often, but I'm completely I am completely blown away that this works. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is a full on how I did this deal, and I'm gonna say it's awfully easy when you first get the actual device, and it'll send you, it gives you the information. You go to their downloads page, and you get the game capture, and you get their streaming software. Streaming software, of course, you can use with just so many OBS Studio. Um, I don't even want to turn on because I don't know. I'm really like right at the peak of my CPU, and I got a 6-core processor, so I'm not gonna run too much more right at the moment. But I do want to say that as long as you've got a relatively decent machine, you should be able to do this. I'm only broadcasting right now at 720/60, which is pretty decent for, it's fine. I'd like to move it up, but that's going 1080 is probably going to take a little more machine than I have right at this minute. And if I hook it up to a different machine, we'll test that too. So I have a Mac. I will be seeing what there is to do about seeing if we can do the same thing there. So that would be very cool if that functions. So I'm sure there's a way to do it, because where there's a will, there's a way, so on and so forth. But this, I have to say, is startlingly easy. And I mean, really, you go into the settings, you set in your user key, and so on and so forth, and then down here in the user face, once you've got everything set up, um, it works. FYI, yes, it does require a USB 3.0 connection, the minimum or higher. I mean, like, you can go with a baseline. It did work on that, but it was a little slow, and I didn't want it to be choppy. It will not work at all, point blank, on a 2.0 USB connection at all. So keep that in mind. Now, if you've got a free spot in your machine, there are plenty of ways. You just pick up a little PCI Express 3.0 card, stick it in there, and you can go that way. I mean, that might be more your budget, because they're between really $15 to $40 for a pretty decent one, versus getting an HDMI capture card, which may not be in your price range at the moment. Um, because those go to $250 something for pretty mid grade from my research. If you guys know some information, if you've got some techniques out there for doing the same thing, and you found it works for you, definitely post it in the link in the comments below. Send me that information. I'd love to hear it. Uh, really, I really hope this helps a few people out there, and I'll keep you posted on the how this is all going and whether it works. But so far, it's up. It's Sean with the Sean Show, and I have a nice day.